Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Nebuchadnezzar. So, this is such a great game that tragically no one seems interested in, but we're revisiting today because if nothing else, that's what this channel exists to do, is for me to shout out games that I think you should know about, at least the revisiting portion. So yes, I covered this at launch. I am smitten with it. We'll see if that love holds up. It's very much a modern realization and throwback, love letter, whatever, to these sort of Caesar-style games. A certain style of early colony management, logistics change management sort of games, but realized in sort of current year, essentially. So if you're an old boy like me, then you probably love this, and if you don't know about it, well, buckle in, because maybe this is the first time you're seeing it, and I believe it should be on special at the moment, currently, while we're looking at it. Anyway, so, campaign. I don't know if it's going to remember my saves or anything like that. So you got all this history about, Mesopotamia and all this sort of stuff. Very cool, but we're just going to start straight into the deep end. There's lore, a little bit of history, around this area. In fact, I believe there's a big Sargon expansion coming out. The Adventures of Sargon, something like that, but it's listed as coming soon, so I don't know what that means. But for now, we're just looking at the core game. But it's good to know that the devs are still supporting it, even though, tragically, it's not like it had... I would say this had a very, very quiet reception. Not for lack of trying on my part, but I can only shout so loud from my soapbox. So, let's give this a bit of a go. Difficulty normal. I'm not really doing tutorials or anything like that. I put quite a few hours into it at launch, and we streamed it a little bit. Hopefully I can pick up the basics from scratch. Let's see how we go. Right, so we've got our group of nomads running along. Oh, hello, welcome. Gilgamesh, the big man himself. They're going to teach us some stuff. If you don't think you need any help, well, there you go. If you're gonna guide the first mission, then I'm not going to say no, right? Close any window, just right click. Very cool. One way to move the cursor to the edge, skip. I'm not that worried. I like that it lets me skip the camera control stuff. Alright, we've got speed control. Where is it? It's up there. Very cool. Oops. Apparently the number keys do something else. Hold down E to speed up. Ah, yes, that's right. I kind of like that, if we're being honest. You can change the game speed as well, but I like the idea of just holding it down, because I pause a lot when you give me speed and that, but I think if you just have a little speed up, you can see it changing as I press the button. I think that's pretty handy. Yeah. Anyway, okay. User interface. Okay, wow, it's really going into it now, isn't it? All right, let's go. We're going to build some houses. Build 4 houses in the highlighted area. Okay, can I move you out of the bloody way, please? Very good. So at its core, you're trying to attract people, but you also need to deliver goods to households as well to maintain, right? So here's our basic house, and there's a leveling up sort of pseudo-caste system, in the style of Anno, something like that. First settlers, here they come. You've got this main road, this main thoroughfare that they move along. So the map is actually not going to be humongous. It can be limited. Fertility is a huge part of the gameplay loop as well. You can see from the river that you can grow stuff there, but then irrigation becomes a big part of the game. It's not actually that complicated. Don't freak out. It's not like we're going into spreadsheets or anything like that. But just to give you an idea, like one of the sort of core loops is an irrigation theme, which is cool. You don't see that often. Anyway, so we can drag some houses here. Yeah, let's follow the bouncing ball. Why not? It says that we need roads, which we can sort that out. Where the bloody hell is the road button? Dirt road. Huh? Do that. Cool. All the houses are now accessible. Open the advisor tab. Oh yeah, well why not? Might as well. What's this? Alright, nice. Let's have a look at our mission objectives. It doesn't... I thought that's the button I pressed. Maybe I pressed the wrong one. Oh, the picture was different from this. Okay, that's fine. Well, there you go. You can see we need to maintain our population there, but we also need to have a bit of industry going as well, right? So we're going to build a farm. Warehouse, maybe not. Now, here we go. Crop farm. And then you can see that's its sort of growing zone, and you will never get full efficiency because you still need road access, right? But it's better than nothing. All right, so we're going to set it to wheat. And it wants me to put it in the highlighted area. whatever. There you go. You can have that. Okay. 18 out of 18. Reveal 2 numbers in the bottom left corner of the card. You can see there. Right? First represents the current number of fields tended by the given farmer. The second is the maximum number of fields that the farmer can tend per year. If you build fewer fields, then the farmer won't be fully utilized. If you build too many, then he won't use them at all, right? Doesn't mean that you always need to build the ideal number of fields. Sometimes there might not be enough space for more. In other cases, it might not need maximum production. All right, so there's a little bit of an idea there. Is the game paused or something? What are we waiting on here? Let's hold E. I think we might get rid of... Can I just... Oh my goodness. Do I actually have to click on these to get rid of them? No, I don't want to... Oh my goodness. Okay, that's fine. Once they're gone, they're gone. Here we go. The farmers are starting to get to work now. January's ticked around. Off they go. So what you can do, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because it's sort of tutorializing, is that what it's trying to explain to you is that per worker unit of workforce, you can handle 18 fields, right? That's got us exactly 36 to 2, and then this guy is like a hauler, I believe. But there are 2 more slots here, and depending on how you lay it all out, you could hire on more guys to take up another 18, right? And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, 9, 18, 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could get 4 farmers worth getting all of that land. Well, not to mention the road that will inevitably join it. So you can get pretty good efficiency. Let's just sort of let this run. Continue. Oh, there's a continue button. Okay, I was just waiting for it to tick over. I was letting the game take the reins. It's possible if your farmers aren't not working yet because each crop can only be cultivated in a specific part of the year, right? So that's why it was slow to start. We're going to need to set up the hauler thing. So this, I don't want to say it's complicated, but once you get your head around the sort of stockpiling and then running the supply out, it works like a treat, but it does take a second to figure it out. Let's see if I can remember it. All right. So we're going to need to, before we can start building a bakery, I need to tell you about transporting, right? Goods are transported by haulers, blah, 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 right? And the most important thing to do is keep in mind that they have a limited range, right? They won't transport goods to the building too far from their home. This range can be displayed using a flag. No transport will happen between 2 buildings out of range of the hauler. Okay, so you essentially need him as a middleman. Build 2 bakeries in the highlighted area. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. He's talking about the hauler native to there, though you can build like a warehousing middleman thing. Bakery, so we'll plonk down 2 bakeries there, and off they go. You can see there, returning, resting, moving, and if you click on here, their hauler is doing the same thing as well. So the AI is smart enough to go where he needs to go. And you can see we've got 2 civilian working blocks essentially cooking at the same time, right? We are going to need warehouses because that bread's going to need somewhere to go. So we're going to plonk off warehouses where it's telling us, right? To be sure the 2 warehouses are sufficient for wheat as well as bread, need to make sure you set everything up just right. Yeah, at the moment, and you can see the little resources going in there, and I believe it's 4 per unit. It's just going to fill up with whatever. So if you have not necessarily even a bottleneck, but if you have an unbalanced production chain for your throughput, like maybe you're producing more wheat than you're baking, then it's just going to fill these warehouses up. You need to throttle the warehouses accordingly, right? So what's it trying to tell me here? To continue, set 1 warehouse to only accept wheat and the only to accept bread. Well, I mean, they're already sort of doing it this way. So we'll go, I think you turn off bread. So now it's just wheat, and we'll turn off wheat, right? There we go. And if you click on the warehouses, they should have a range, I think. No, they don't, because they're just a storage space. These will have a range. Oh, maybe not. I could have sworn they would, but... Oh, you know what? You click on this, it'll tell you the range. There you go. This old dog still knows a few things. Alright, some warehouses still storing goods that you don't want there. To remove them, you won't need to do anything complicated, right? You don't destroy them. So you can essentially force them to unload with the arrows here. You can destroy all goods, but you can also simply use the button shown below, which will remove all goods of the given type from the warehouse. Oh, okay. I think there's a way. I think if you just turn the warehouse off, they'll automatically drain it over time. Everything's set up for a successful mission. Oh, right, of course, because we just need to make wheat and bread. So let's just speed it up. Now, we could put a production throttle on it because it's just going to keep making more than 20 bread and using up the wheat. But honestly, once the storage fills up, it's just going to stop. So we might as well just fill it up. You can see there's our resources at the top. It gets a little bit more complicated. You have to supply all this stuff to these guys like water carriers as well, which I think we'll cover probably in the next mission, right? So there's nowhere left to put the bread. So the wheat should start stocking up. But like, you don't have to love the art style. I personally have a bit of nostalgia for it. Oh, does the bakery have its own internal storage? It does too. Yeah, so it's filling that up as well. But you can't deny that this, as far as like a feedback, a visual feedback indicator of your stock and where it's at and where you can find your bottlenecks, it's very functional. Alright, looks the part. Okay, so we should finally start stocking wheat. Though these people are probably eating. Maybe they're not. I can't quite remember. Well, like I said, we'll cover it in a sec. But the wheat is definitely staying in stock now. It's not going anywhere. You click on the bakers, full storage, full storage. Right, they each have an internal storage of 10 bread, so that's what they were just catching up on there. Production warehouse, trying to give me warnings and nothing's working. That's fine. This should definitely get us to the 20 wheat. There we go. Let's go next mission. I'm not going to bother reading any of this. Like, I find it all really interesting, but not everyone does. Especially, I'm not exactly super across this time period, but I would like to. But then, I mean, where are the hours in my day? Give me more, please. But if you gave me more, I'd probably just keep working. So it's a catch-22. But you can check all that out yourself. But now, let's just focus on the gameplay. All right, so let's try something different. What's going on here? Yeah, keep giving me hints, mate, because this is helpful. Again, the video serves. There's a revisit / overview. This video serves to show you what the game's about and see if it actually tickles your fancy. So, open a house window and we'll continue, right? You have a look at what the house needs. Right now, it needs milk and it needs bread to get to the next tier, right? And I think you need to get to 1 unit, but it does measure in decimals a lot. Like 1 is actually kind of high, I believe. Warned, the house will continuously consume these goods, and if they run out, its level will drop, right? So in order to keep it at level 2, you kind of have to oversupply. It's not about an efficient 100% bottleneck. It is about backloading oversupply. I don't know what bottleneck theory would call these things, but I think you probably understand what I'm trying to get at, right? Build 1 market next to the house. Okay, well, we can do that. Poor market. Bang. Excellent. Tell you more about how slots work. A work building will never do anything on its own. So they have several slots that can be occupied by a specific profession, right? So we sort of talked about that earlier. You can see here we've got 2 halls on the poor market, right? And it will... Oh, this is good. This is actually explaining it all very well. Number of workers displayed at the bottom left corner of the slot portrait. Yeah, sure. Okay, but then where's our total employment? Ah, here it is up here. Unemployment level 93%. What's this plus do? Oh, gives you an actual number of missing workers. Number of missing workers, current unemployment level. So 93% of my people are unemployment. I'm a bit confused. Maybe it's back to front because this infers that I need 500 more workers to fill the slots, but that doesn't make sense, does it? I don't know. What's my population? 500? Anyway, hire 1 bread seller and 1 milk seller. We can do that. Bread lady? Milk lady. Done. There you go. You can see a new warning appeared above the market. We can ignore it for now. right? Market to start distributing goods. It needs to have these goods in internal storage, right? We'll continue as soon as you transport at least 1 bread and 1 milk to the market. So off you go. Build 1 farm with wheat fields, 2 bakeries, 1 livestock. Right. So the game's kind of letting us off the leash a little bit now with what little we know. So let's start getting farming going. Where is this? Well, we're going to need wheat. And we could probably... Let's see. We don't have irrigation. Oh, yeah, we've got some dirt patches and all that there. I don't need to min-max this too. Let's, I don't know. Let's just plonk that there. And then we will do this. I'll just put the whole lot back here for the moment. It's probably not going to work. That's fine. Livestock farm. Something similar. I think you need irrigation. Oh, hang on. What have I done here? Goat pasture, right? Yeah, see, it needs greenery for the goats. Oh, look, there they are. And they're getting manned by my little dudes. So off you go. Now, what did it suggest? Build 1 farm with wheat fields, 2 bakeries, 1 livestock with goat pastures. Right? Fair enough. We can do that. So we're going to build 2 bakeries. I mean, are you not going to let me put it there? You're not going to let me put it there? Oh, right, it's because I've put the goat things there. Well, can we just delete that fairly easily? We can. Let's delete this too, because without irrigation, it's not actually going to get staffed. We'll put 2 bakeries there. And honestly, they should be smart enough to sort of just get the ball rolling. They'll start producing and hauling milk to the market. There you go, 6 out of 10. So we've got some milk already. And then now we've got some bread. Excellent. But how will your production, or how do we know the production will cover the demand? Well, this will be interesting, actually. Let's have a look. Get rid of this. An estimate of current annual production and consumption. Well, that's handy, isn't it? That's actually really cutting to the core back stuff. I like that. You can find annual production and consumption as well as current efficiency. Yep, cool. Keeping a small reserve in production. Sure. And like we said, you want to overproduce on the back end. Otherwise, your buildings will drop citizen level, and then your whole everything can just collapse at that point. You got to be really careful it doesn't snowball. All right. Sellers don't have any route to follow, right? So we'll come back to this, and this is sort of the last hurdle to getting your head around this game. So we're going to need to set routes for these sellers. So we're going to set the bread lady, and you know what we'll do is like that. And then that should work. Show hide. Oh, you know what? I think I need to connect it back up. Is that the idea? Maybe I should just read the instructions, hey? Button can be used to copy route. Or maybe I was right in the first place. Just do it like this, Scott. Not complicated. Hey, there we go. Very good. Excellent. You should now have your houses will gradually receive bread and milk. In most cases, you won't be able to satisfy the need of the whole block. Yeah, because they run out as they go. See how they say distributing? They can only carry so much. That's fine. It's certainly not necessary to immediately hire a new seller. Just check the production. You can always speed up time. So you can see people are moving in already, and the quality of the houses are increasing. This first one is a good example. We're at 1.45 and 1.72, and 1 being the threshold, right? So the sellers will just keep topping that corner one up. But as you go further and further along, it might become more difficult. Like, for example, here, that's struggling to maintain enough bread. It's interesting. So if it drops below 1, it will stay on size. I'm assuming that once it hits 0. So there's a grace period. But this building being like last on the path is probably going to have a little bit of a hard time. So then you got to look at your bottlenecking and all that sort of stuff, right? Population needs to go up. Number of houses at a given level. So poor house is level 2. So we're close to getting it. It looks like bread is the issue. So let's have a look here. Let's see what's going on. We've got 10 out of 10 wheat in the bakery there. 4 out of 10 there. 9 out of 10. We're having supply problems at all there? What do we reckon? Well, you know what we can do in this case. We can get a warehouse, all right? Probably put that there, and we'll just make it so it's only... for now. People are leaving the city. Show me where? No, that's okay, we'll get this. Welcome back, people coming back. Alright, let's see how this week goes. It's a good way to visualize. I don't think we're going to be able to create the bottleneck. So how about we hire on another farm? 16 out of 18. I mean, given the farm, that's the best that we can sort of hope for. Now they're sowing. Let's let them go. Hopefully that will put us in a sort of net positive. Oh, there we go. Look, it filled in the last building anyway. Next mission. Let's squeeze a little bit more of a mission in anyway, right? So there you broad basics. The only other thing is that obviously the leveling up keeps going, and I believe decoration plays into it. You also generally need to be working towards building like a pyramid wonder as well, and that's where trade and currency comes in. So currency is not that important for your actual sort of population. You just got to, you provide for them and they provide a workforce. That's symbiosis there. But you essentially generate trade income that can then be turned into long-term wonder building requirements. All right? Yeah, teach me more. Build one livestock farm. Well, okay, right, if you say so. Livestock farm, right there. Also build a crop farm. Oh, okay. Jeez. Build irrigation canals. That's right. I brushed over that, but yes, irrigation is a big deal. We're going to dig a canal all the way down here. Looks like it wants me to dig this out too. And it's like any sort of piping system in like a Sim City or a Prison Architect or whatever, that you can dig the canal X along, but eventually it's going to run out of a throughput, right? Head, whatever you'd like to call it. Build a pump down here. Nice. Look at that. It's cool. Oh, I can't zoom in anymore. Okay. Build 2 additional pumps. As you can see there, the irrigated water is only making it so far. And, well, I don't need to explain that. I think you can probably see that. Okay. Boom. Boom. Now we're going to put this in. So the system's pretty straightforward. There you go. Look at that. And it just immediately updated it. And now it's irrigated out to, what is that, like 2 or 3 tiles distance? Maybe 3, maybe. Yeah, 3, I'd say. Build 1 warehouse and continue. Okay, if you say so. Build a road on the connected area. Yeah, now I think you can build little bridges. There you go, like that. Handy. Handy. But obviously, having to irrigate and run roads, having this infrastructure is going to get in the way of your sort of maximum efficiency. You're probably not going to have 4 farmers. I don't think it's physically possible to have 4 farmers running full efficiency and being able to deliver the goods. Build at least 36 wheat fields and 36 goat pastures. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, look, we could probably just go with what's safe. There's... Well, now you're going to make it difficult for me, are you? Does it keep a running tally? Other than, I suppose you can see there, right? So that's 24. What if we build down to there? Oh, well, there you go. That'll do it. That's worked out quite well. And then, how far off are we? Perfect. Show you more advanced techniques for setting up warehouses. You want to notice space is valuable in Nebuchadnezzar. And that is it. There is a sort of spatial reasoning component to it, right? Set 1 warehouse to only accept wheat and milk. To continue, set one warehouse only accept wheat and milk. Okay. Like that, you mean? Set maximum capacities, right? So you want to go to 28 and 8. And again, it does it in little 4 blocks. 4, 8, 12, up to 36 max. So you can see that there, it's all worked out. What was wheat? 28. And it does it in those blocks as well. And milk down to 8. Why 4s? Why not? The developers probably think in squares like I do. You can fit 4 little pictures inside a little square. Might be wondering where we set precisely this ratio. Reason is simple. Milk is produced at the same rate throughout the year, while wheat is only harvested during a few months. Okay? Need more space to handle all the wheat produced in a short time span. This makes sense, right? You sow while the sun's up. Don't be afraid to experiment, right? Open the info layer by clicking on any goods in the upper panel. Oh, you mean like this? Okay. Open the advisor. No, that's the advisor bits. That's all for the mission. Basic controls. Cool. And then what's it want me to do? Get my population up. Standard houses, of which we have none. And then from there, that would be the next step, right? So I guess we do that there. Now, there's going to be limits to how far a dude can sort of carry stuff. And that might even set up our sort of city block situation. This hard-packed soil as well cannot be irrigated. So that creates an interesting gameplay component. Here come people. I don't know why are they invisible? Did I press a button that... Oh, you know what? I've got an overlay on. There you go. And you've got a couple of overlays on the number keys, and they're actually really helpful, if not basic. This is saying that it needs more workers, but that's going to be rectified soon enough. We just need to deliver... Well, we're not up to water delivery yet, are we? But we are definitely up to milk and bread delivery. Sorry, I was getting distracted looking at this here, thinking maybe I'll put a road there. No? I don't know. Okay, so let's put to... Oh, look, clay mine, ceramics. I believe that's... There you go. Look, at the next level, they're going to demand water and ceramic, which I suppose we'll get to soon enough. It'll be this one here. Poor market and well. I guess like that, right? Let's go bread. Let's go milk. Might actually minus. What happens if I... Seems smart enough to figure that out, you know, if you sort of just do the corners. But like I said, there'll be a limit to how far they can go, I think, from home, for example. And then on top of that, how much they can actually sort of supply in a trip anyway, right? We don't have a bakery, so we should probably sort that out. Roads. Where do we go? Let's do that. There you go, everyone's getting wriggle on. So these guys are still missing. Oh, there you go. The first bread's coming in. Population's starting to go up. Standard house, we need 16 of, which is the tier 3. I don't think we can get to that today, but still. I think they've equipped us with everything that we need to get that ball rolling. So before we run off, yeah, water is just drawn, so that's pretty straightforward. You make a clay pit, which then you take the raw clay and deliver it to the ceramic shop to build pottery, basically. And that's how you get those next resources. And you need them all stacked up, and it's a bit of a tower of Jenga blocks And if you start fucking up one of the supply chains, the whole thing will just collapse down and you'll drop class, and then all of a sudden you'll stop earning certain tax, because you can see here you earn taxable income once you start going up classes. What's this again? Pollution and appeal, and this comes in for the levels 4 and 5. Basically, you have to make them nice gardens and just look after them because they get a bit up their arse a bit. Anyway, so Nebuchadnezzar. Solid, really cool. Is it reinventing the wheel? Well, not really. Not so much as that it is revisiting a very classic way of doing strategy games that we haven't seen this style and just even the delivery logic system. You don't see it anymore. So this is not only a great throwback love letter to the olden days, but it's modernized, at least as far as I can tell, so that it still stands, right? Because if you've ever revisited a game and you're honest with yourself from like 20 years ago, often it's not what you remember because times have changed. Our tastes have changed. Industry has changed. So anyway, I'm gushing a little, but this is as good as you're going to get to going back to these games from 20 years ago. And it's my absolute pleasure to hopefully put it on your radar. So go and check it out. But I mean, of course, what would I know? I'm just a dickhead who plays video games, so don't take anything I say seriously. Anyway, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.